Hello, my friends. It's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis where I am journeying through my 40s and I have been working so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I am working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today we are going to be working on my financial health journey. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom. And we actually have a physical planner from her this year. So, spoiler alert, this was supposed to be a quick first look with y'all. I did an unboxing, but this is the third time I'm filming this video. So if you are one of my subscribers, you will probably have heard me talking about in one of my other videos how my camera's been acting up, and I filmed this video and then I didn't like the way it looked, and so I refilmed it, and then my camera was broken, and so now I'm refilming this video. So I have actually already looked at this a couple of times, and so it's not going to be my first honest reaction, and I am sorry for that. But hi, let's look at it. And I know a couple of other people have now put out their first reactions to it, so it's not going to be the first one out, but here it is. Here are my opinions on the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck book. First, I want to say how much I absolutely love this cover. I love how it feels. I love how it looks. I love the fact that it is replaceable. Like, you can interchange it like with other ones. I love that you can do that. I said it in my other videos, but of course y'all can't see that. I am not a huge fan of her florals. I think they're beautiful. They're just not really my style. They're super big and florally, and that's just not me. But this purple, I love purple. Purple's my favorite. I don't know if you can tell by the fact that it's like on my phone and on my wrist and like literally everywhere. Like last year, not last year because she didn't have it last year, but like the previous one, I bought this one and it's got all the purples in it. So I am super happy. And I am going to be referencing the previous one a couple of times just because, for comparison. I'm going to try to not go into too much detail. I feel like the last 2 times I filmed this, I went into a lot of detail, and that's not what I want this video to be, because I want this just to be a flip through of what this book is about. If you're looking for a very in-depth way to track your budgeting and to get a hold of your finances, to figure out where all of your money is going, how to stay on top of your debt, get a hold of when your bills are due, how to budget them. Like, I will go into some detail, but not a lot, I promise. When your bills are due and when you should pay them and with what check, and track where your money went and how you can better use it next month compared to last month, your net worth, your savings, things like that. This book is fantastic. This book is amazing for that. And yes, it's a little pricey. I think with shipping and everything, it was like around $65. So just keep that in mind when you are looking at it. It is a little bit pricey, but it will help you reach your goals. She does have free versions of a lot of these documents on her website that you can print out and put into your own like binder or whatever you want, but this book is very, very complete and will get you where you want to go. So it is a very good way to do it. So let's get started. It starts with just a little welcome, and this workbook belongs to, though I think this is kind of a superfluous page because this book is so huge, it's so big, and it's so heavy. I can't imagine taking this out somewhere and losing it. But if you do, if you're planning to maybe take it to the office and you work in a large office setting somewhere and you think you might leave it somewhere, definitely fill that out. She goes into a lot of detail about how to use all of her worksheets, because she has a lot of worksheets and they go into in depth, and I think this is very important. She also has a YouTube channel with a lot of videos where she does it and she uses her actual numbers. She goes into a lot of detail about how to fill out each sheet and how each sheet works. So like I said, if you are looking for a way to get a hold of things, of your finances, this is an excellent workbook. Here is a page for your financial plans, your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals that you have for yourself, all of your memberships so you don't forget when they're coming out. This is where you would write down your Netflix and your Apple subscriptions, and I would even go so far as to write down all of your like car payments and your credit card payments. I would write everything down here. That's my personal opinion, but maybe you would just want to write down your subscriptions when your iCloud subscription comes out or whatever you have, write all your subscriptions and then how much it costs. She has annual and monthly costs, so however you want to do it. Your savings goals here. And then you can break it down by how much you've put into each category each month, your beginning, what you've added or taken away from each category, and then what you ended with at the end of the month. And that is for each of the goals that you have set up over here. Your goal, your how much you need to save each month, and what it is when it is due by. So these are great pages to get you started. Your sinking funds, this, and I'm going to compare it to my previous one just so you can see how to use this in case you're not familiar with it. This is where you would write, excuse me, so in case you're not familiar, which I think most people familiar with budgeting would be familiar with sinking funds, but just in case you're getting into the sinking fund game and you're getting into the budgeting game, sinking funds are where you save just a little bit every time you get paid to save up for a bigger goal. So for example, if you want to save up for an annual subscription, and like for example, I save up for my car registration every year, and I save $18 a month, and that way when my car registration is due, I have the money set aside and I don't have to come up with that money in October. So it's fixing to be October, and when I go to get my car inspected and pay my registration fee, I have that money set aside already. Give me 1 second, y'all. It is getting really dark because it's about to storm, and I just realized how shadowy it's getting. I'm going to turn another light on. Let's see if that helps at all. I don't know if that does or not. Sorry for the lighting. Yeah, it just got like really cloudy outside. But anyway, so what you would do is write your goal amount up here and how much each of these blocks is worth, and then you would color in the blocks as you get there. So for me, so here like is my registration from the previous one. I wrote registration. I wrote that I saved $8. Each of these blocks is worth $8.66 because I needed $100. And every time I saved $8.66, I colored in a block. If I saved a little less than $8.66, for example, this one was for my taxes, and each block was worth $20.83. If I didn't quite save $20.83, I colored in just part of the block, just to represent that it was just part of the block. So that is how this is used. It's just for visual tracking of it. So you can see that this, when I compared it to that, is very similar to her previous one. At first, when I first opened this, I was a little bit disappointed that it was almost the same. The font changed, but almost everything else was the same. There was like 2 pages that were different. Everything else was almost identical. And then I was like, okay, Becky, calm down. Her mother passed away, and she got married, and she had a baby. She had a little bit going on. So I'm just glad we got a physical planner this year. So the fact that the actual like graphics didn't change, I'm okay with that. I'm just glad we got a planner. This is where you can track your actual spending for the year, your expense category, and this, you make up your own expense categories. So the first year I did it, my expense categories were very, very, very detailed, and I think I had way too many. And then this year when I'm doing it, I am very general. So like the first year I went very into detail, and you can see how many I had. I feel like this was way too many. And now this year I'm doing it. Let me see. This year I printed it because she didn't have, and I didn't print all of those pages, but I'll just show you. These are all of the categories I have this year. And so I put multiple items into each of these. And and you do whatever works for you. If you want to get very detailed, do it. If you want to be very broad, you do that. It works, whatever works for you. And on that note, there is a new page, which I'm going to skip to, where you would put what categories you're putting into here. So for example, I this year have a home category, and in my home category, I include my pet expenses, my groceries, my gasoline, anything related to me for home. I have a previously budgeted category. Anything that I pull out of a sinking fund is a previously budgeted category. Anything for fun would be a dining out, would be from my fun category. If I go to the movies, that would be fun. If I go out for dinner, that would be fun. If I go to the state fair or a museum, that would be fun. So that is how I am doing my budget categories. Where the first year I did this, I got very specific. And I was like, dining out is in the dining out category, and utilities are going to be in the utility category. And I was very specific. If you want to get specific, get specific. If you want to be broad, and you can do however works best for you, because if you're familiar with me, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Personal budgeting is personal, and you have to make it work for you. Whatever works best for you, that's what you should do. I skipped this page just because I wanted to go into that. This is where you can track whatever you want to track. This is a graph, so you can track it up or down. You can track debt if you're going on a debt journey. You can say an overall debt or a specific debt that you want to track. You can say I started off with a $5,000 balance and I got it down to a $2,000 balance. Or you can track your savings and you can say I started off at 0 and now I'm at $5,000, and just track it from month to month, however you want to do it. And she gives you 2 of those, so you can track 2 different things. You can track debt on one side, or overall debt, however you want to do it, and you can track your savings on the other side, overall savings or a specific down payment savings, however you want to do this. It's for you. And up here, this is an overall tracker for your savings, your debt, your retirement, and your net worth. You do not have to use every page on this. You can use as much or as little of this as you want to. I'm going to say when I first started out, I tried to use every single page, and then I kind of fell off. If you were to look at my first one, you'll see that like it starts off really good, and then I just kind of stopped. Because for me, I use this book in conjunction with YNAB because I am mostly a digital and not a cash budgeter. So I was trying to use this, but it got to be too much trying to do both. But if you're only doing cash and you're primarily using this, this is a fantastic tool. It was just too much for me to try to do both. Again, this is that budget category that we went over, and then a medical bill payment tracker. My only problem with this is that there's only one page. I feel like if you have medical bills, you probably have multiple medical bills. So this is where I think the digital one would come more in handy if you could print out multiples of this page and include it. I wish there were multiples of this page, because I feel like, at least here in the United States, I don't know anybody who has really one medical bill. You either have 0 medical bills or you have a lot of medical bills, but you don't really have one medical bill. So I wish there were multiples of this page. And then there's just some note pages, and then we get into the month. So the months are going to be all the same, so we'll just go over one month. It starts off with the calendar, which they do have the month name on them. Oh my goodness, y'all, it is dark in here. I'm gonna have to brighten this. Hopefully my new software that I am gonna be trying out to put this video out is awesome and I can figure out how to use it. So it has the month name on it, but they are undated. So you can use this any year. You can buy 5 of these books if you want to and just save them and use them all any year you want to. If you want to do that. Because like last year she didn't come out with a book. So I know a lot of people at the end of 2022 bought up a couple of books before she sold out to use for 2023 because she wasn't coming out with a physical planner for 2023. I used the digital planner, but a lot of people bought extra physical planners. She did eventually sell out. So anyway, and then I personally buy stickers from Life in Envelopes, and there are a lot of other people who make stickers, not just Life in Envelopes, but I personally use stickers from Life in Envelopes to just make it look pretty, in my opinion. I like the stickers to make this look pretty. But this year, Spoiler alert, this year it came with date stickers, so you don't have to do that. I still like to use the stickers because it didn't come with other stickers, but it did come with date stickers. So you cut the calendar here, which you can write the dates in or use the date stickers. And I'm old, so it's hard for me to turn pages now. And then you get the planner. So I'm going to try to zoom this in just a little bit so we can go into a little bit of detail. So these are all going to be the same. There are going to be 5 of these for each month because some people are paid weekly, some people are paid monthly, and some people are paid weekly, and then some people are paid like on different variations of that. So she gives you 5 budget trackers for each month just in case there are 5 weeks in the month and you are paid weekly. So it's always going to be the most. So she gives you the date of the paycheck, and then this is for your income. You put your income up here, and there's a spot for the first time you write it out, you're supposed to plan ahead and put what you think you're going to get so you can make a plan. Here is what I think my bills are going to be. Here's the date they're due, and here's what I think they're going to cost me. Here's the total. Here are my variable expenses, my envelopes, what I think they're going to be, and the total. My sinking funds, what I am planning to put aside for my sinking funds. My extra debt, again, if you watched any of my videos, I wish these 2 were backwards. I wish my savings came before my debt, but whatever, they don't. I also wish there were more sinking funds, not less. I need a lot more sinking funds and fewer fixed expenses. But the fixed expenses, I think, are like this because, like the budget mom herself, some people are paid only once a month. So if you fit all of your bills for a month, this is probably what you need. I'm paid bi-weekly. I only need a couple. I budget weekly. I only need a couple of fixed expenses, but I need a whole lot of sinking funds because I got a lot of them. Personal preference. I guess I'm just going to have to make my own, but that's not happening anytime soon. Anyway, you do your extra debt. This would be like your snowball if you're working on a snowball plan, or if you just want to put something extra toward a debt that you're paying off. And this extra savings is really just your savings. This is where your savings go. Like for me personally, I put my, I'm doing a savings challenge for 52-week savings, and I'm doing a savings for my great nephew where I set aside his age every week. And then my emergency fund, I put all of that into this section here. And then if you have any left over, like personally, I am paid bi-weekly, but I budget weekly. So I normally have a rollover from week to week. That would go here, or if you're doing a zero-based budget, that should equal 0 right here. So then just to double check your math, you're going to take this right here minus this right here, minus this right here, minus this right here, minus this right here, and it should equal $0, or it should equal whatever this leftover is. So that is how you do this. That's that page. The next page that she gives you is a cash envelope breakdown. She is assuming that you are doing cash stuffing if you are doing this. So what you would do is you would take the categories, and that would be from your previous page, and the amount that you say you need, and then you would put your denominations here. You'd say $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, and you would say, I need $100 in my groceries for this week. And then you would say how much you wanted, and you might just say, I want 520s in here. And then you would say, I need $150 in gas, and I just want a $100 bill and a $50 bill. And whatever it is, and you put this out for every category and how much you need. And then at the end of this, you would take it and get a total count of how much of each denomination you need. And then you would add it all up and make sure it equals the same amount of money, and you've done your math correctly. And then you would know when you go to the bank to get your cash, to do your cash stuffing, how much of each you need, and that way you would have the right amount to put into each of your envelopes when you're doing your cash stuffing, and you wouldn't just end up with 5 $100 bills, and that's not what you needed for your cash stuffing, because you actually only needed $30 in this one envelope, and how are you going to do that if all you have is $100 bills? And that way when you go to the bank. And then there's a little note for thoughts and goals and whatever you want to put down here at the bottom of the page. I personally, since I am not a cash stuffer and I print my own, don't use this. When I print this, and this is just a little tip for anybody else who has the digital version, and you don't cash stuff, I print them, and so I just print the budget page here, and then the very next page that I print is my expense tracker, because I don't cash stuff. I do everything digitally. That's just how I do it. But if you're a cash stuffer, this is an amazing page. And then again, like I said, you get 5 of those per month. You're gonna get 5. So I'm just gonna skip to the end, and then you will get the expense trackers, which I just skipped right to. I have one for each of my weeks, and they are just right next to my budget sheets. And then at the end of the month, you get a debt payment plan. So if you don't have any debt, this won't do anything for you, and also congratulations, that is amazing, good job. But if you do have debt, you can keep track of your debt, and this will be awesome for you to track from month to month. Like I said, this book is amazing if you're trying to get a hold of your finances. So you can list your debts here, your balance, your interest rate, your minimum payment, and then the order that you're trying to pay it off. And then if you're making any extra debt payments, you can list that here, the extra amount and the date that you paid it, and then the total extra amount that you paid this month. So you can keep track of how much extra that you paid in debt this month. And then here is where you can keep track of your progress. This is going to be how much your debt balance was last month, which you were going to get from, totaling all of your debts, and then how much it was this month, and then you can see how much progress you've made, and then you can do the percentage. And she gives you all of the formulas right here to figure that all out. And then this is even more fun because you can see from what you started with. So if this is the first time you're doing this, this is going to be the same number as this. It's what you started with. But if you've already been doing this for a while, this isn't going to be last month. This is going to be the very first time you did this. So if you started this last January, you're going to put in the very first time you ever did this. So it's going to be last January's number, and then this month's debt total. And then you're going to subtract the 2 and see how far you've come overall. And that is amazing to see that number right there. And then you kind of do that for your assets, your net worth tracking. So she gives you a formula to figure out your whole net worth. You list your assets, you list your liabilities, and then you figure out your net worth. She gives you the whole formula to figure out your net worth as well. And you can do that from month to month and see how your net worth is going with the stock market and home values and things like that. Sometimes it varies greatly from month to month. Sometimes it doesn't change at all. So again, feel free to use as much or as little of these pages as you want to. Where did my money go? This is a page I actually do use. This is where you would list your monthly inflow. So this is going to be the money that you started with. Again, a lot of times this is going to be 0. If you're like me and you roll money into the month from the previous month, this is whatever money you rolled into the month. This is going to be the money that you earned from your jobs, any other income. So like for me, it would be cash back from my credit cards. I get cash. I treat my credit cards like debit cards. I use them and then I pay them off at the end of every week, and then I get cash back. So I do get just a couple of dollars cash back every week. And then if you used any of your sinking funds or savings, like say you were saving up for a vacation and then you went on that vacation and you used the money from that sinking fund and you pulled that money into your budget, you'd add all of that up. That would be your total monthly inflow for the month. You'd list all your categories here, again, whatever you decided they were going to be, how much you budgeted, how much you spent, what the difference was, and then the percentage of your inflow. So some people want to get into detail, some people don't. If you do, you can break it all down. If you don't use this page. You can figure out how much of your total monthly inflow that you spent on debt, how much you put toward your savings, and then you can break it down by how much you put toward each individual debt. How much should I pay toward my mortgage? How much should I pay toward my car? How much should I pay toward credit cards? How much should I put toward my kids' college? How much should I put toward my down payment toward my next car? You can go into as much or as little detail as you want. Whatever works for you, whatever you're curious about finding out, you can do it with this workbook. It's one of the best things about this workbook is how much detail she gives you the option of going into. And then this is where you can compare it to last month's spending. So this is where you can see the difference in how much you made this month compared to last month. This is really good if you have a variable income. Like I know, like I said, I buy the stickers from Jennifer Bleacher from Life in Envelopes, and she has a variable income because her main source of income is her Etsy shop and her YouTube channel. So her income varies greatly from month to month, and so she really likes this. I have a salaried job. My income doesn't really change very much from month to month. So for me, this isn't such a big deal. This part isn't a big deal, but this is, because sometimes it's a very big change from what I spent one month on groceries to the next month on groceries, especially in the summertime, which is why now that September, like when September hit, I was like, I really need to do a low spend September because I spent a lot of money in August. I didn't even close out my August budget because I don't even want to see how much money I spent in August. So I know that my spending varies greatly from month to month. So to me, this page is very important just to see how much my spending fluctuates from month to month. To you, it might not be that big of a deal. Maybe you know, like I always spend this much money. I'm very regulated. I know what I'm spending. So to you, this might not be a big deal. To me, I like this page. Again, you list your budget categories, how much you spent in December versus how much you spent in January, and what that change was if you're interested in this. So this is another page that I like personally, that I use. And then you can compare it and see how you're doing on your budget. And then something else that she gives you, as a single person, this isn't really something that I use, though I think I might use it in October, maybe in November, depending, because again, I might be doing a something related to food challenge with my friend Kay. But if I do, I might use this meal planning. But it's a meal plan, and I know a lot of families like to meal plan, so she gives you a meal plan page. And you can write your food budget in here if you want to. And then again, a completely undated calendar where you can put the dates in here, and there's room to put meal prep in here, meal plans. You get another page for notes and thoughts, and then here is the page where, remember, we had all those cash pages where you can write out how much you want. Here is where you can write it down, the denominations, how many of each you need, and the total value, and then you can cut these out and take these to the bank with you and hand them to the teller so that they will know exactly how much you want out of from them when you go to the bank. And I've heard, I don't cash stuff, so I don't have any personal experience with this, but I have heard that tellers love these slips, that it really helps them out. So I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to go look at one last thing before we are done. Good. Like I said, it's the same for every month, so that was just 1 month, but they're all the same. She gives you this year a pocket, a dual-sided pocket, and then, like I said, y'all, there are stickers on this one. I was super, super excited, and I'm sorry that you can't see my actual initial reaction to the stickers because I was so excited, but there are stickers on this one. So these stickers are really cool, and I wish I was keeping this book, but I have actually decided to go ahead and get... my battery died. I was so close to being done. Anyway, there are stickers on this one, and I was so excited when I first saw this page, and I'm sorry that you can't see my initial reaction. And it makes me really sad that I'm not keeping this book, but I went back and forth, and I really think that for me, the printed version is better just because I don't use a lot of these pages, like a lot of them, and I have a friend who is really excited to get into budgeting, and we've been talking about it, and I've been trying to help her with her budget, and I've been... I think I'm going to give it to her as like her Christmas birthday present. I've talked to her about it. But it makes me really sad because I just want the stickers, but I'm not going to not give her the stickers. And I do personally think that the printed one is better for me personally. So, but these stickers are awesome. I love these stickers. I kind of want to rip out the stickers and keep them for myself, but I'm not that selfish. So anyway, here are the stickers like I was talking about. It comes with the date dots for your calendar, so you don't have to handwrite the dates in. And then payday, there's some llamas in here, some shoes, some Christmas trees, some ornaments, just little dollar signs, different things. So anyway, cute stickers that you can put on your calendars, date dots for your months, so you can start the months whenever you want. Again, you can use these years. They don't have to go on the 2024 year if you want to use this for a different year. And stickers. So yes, that is the budget book for the Budget by Paycheck book for the Budget Mom, the one that came for 2024. And, oh, I didn't even say, these are interchangeable, and if you have the Live Rich Planner, the covers are interchangeable with the Live Rich Planner covers as well. So you can change out those covers for the Budget by Paycheck book covers as well if you have those. Okay, I think that is all I have. What are y'all using for budget? Sorry, my cat's coming in for some attention. Yeah. What are y'all using for budget planners for 2024? Are you using the Budget by Paycheck book? Are you using the Erin Condren? What's the other one? Jordan something? Not super familiar with all of them because, like I said, I mostly use digital, but I do use this to plan out my budgets ahead of time so I can make my bi-weekly paychecks into weekly paychecks. It just works for me. What are you using? What do you think of this? Do you like the Budget by Paycheck method, or do you like another one better? Let me know what you think in the comment box below. If you are not yet and you are interested in following this or any of my other journeys, please hit that subscribe button and come along with me. Okay, I love y'all. I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye.